Good evening and welcome to the special Vote 2014 edition of Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Tonight's show is a debate. We will hear from candidates competing for Arizona's Congressional District 7. As with all of Arizona Horizon's debates, this is not a formal exercise. It's an open exchange of ideas, an opportunity for give and take between candidates for one of the state's most important offices. As such, interruptions, interjections, they're allowed, provided that all sides get a fair shake, and as always, we will do our best to see that that happens. Earlier, we drew numbers to see who goes first, and that honor goes to Joe Cobb.
Good evening. I'm Joe Cobb. I'm the Libertarian Party candidate here in the 7th Congressional District. I'm running for Congress because I want to change America's immigration system. I think that we need to completely open up the immigration quota system, eliminate the quotas. I would give a work visa to any person that comes to the United States to a legal border station, passes a background check, passes a health check, and asks for a work visa. I think that America needs more young workers. I think that the current quota system in immigration completely strangles the American economy, as well as committing a tremendous injustice to so many families and so many people. We need more young workers. Social Security is going to strangle to death and go broke if we don't have more young workers, and so I want to emphasize that. I'm also, I think, the only candidate at the table who's determined and pledged to vote against war.
All right, thank you very much. What are the district's most pressing needs?
Well, as I said in my opening statement, I think that the immigration problem is probably the most serious thing on the table right now. I think that the current system of immigration, which was put into the United States law in the 1920s, when the Ku Klux Klan was very, very active and Congress just rolled over and adopted that kind of restricted racist policy. We need to open that up. There's no reason not to have open immigration, fair immigration, and to allow people to reunite with their families, but especially we need more young workers. I think that's the most pressing issue.
You were in the House and you were presented with that bill. Yay or nay?
I would definitely vote for the existing bill because the existing bill might be the only thing we're going to get. I'm not clear that the Republicans will grant any hearings. The Republican Party is completely deadlocked, gridlocked on this issue. And my opportunity in Congress, because I'm not a Republican, is that I could work with that small group, maybe a third, maybe half of the Republicans that believe in a free market, free economy, and open immigration. But they're held hostage by the fact that they're a member of the Republican caucus, just like Rubin would be held hostage as a member of the Democratic caucus. If you're a member of the two big parties, you're going to be stuck in the gridlock. You cannot escape it. So
exactly
only
correct.
Jose and I have a chance, but a libertarian would be something that the Republicans would find intriguing. Even now the Republicans are afraid of us because they're afraid we're taking too many of their people away.
I was going to say, intriguing is an interesting way to put it.
I can take them all away and unite them with the Democrats and pass repeal of the quota system. Now, the comprehensive, so-called comprehensive immigration, that's a trap. Anything comprehensive is a trap because it bogs things down in too many issues.
Should there be any limits placed on immigration?
Only the limits imposed by getting a background check so we know who is coming into the U.S., health check to make sure we don't have people with diseases and other problems coming into the U.S. But if they're young and healthy and have a clean background, they should be admitted and given a work visa. And, I would say unlimited time. I don't care. We need these people. These are excellent, good working people. We want more of these people in the United States. I do. It's not a crime to come into the United States in an airport with a tourist or a student visa and to stay longer than the term of that visa. It's not a crime. It's not even a misdemeanor. So it's not an illegal immigration. Only the people that actually walk across the border and don't enter at a legal border station, as I would allow and ask them to do, only those people have committed a small infraction. And even them are only subject to deportation.
It's
not
again,
a crime.
Again, critics will say any kind of path to citizenship equals amnesty.
Yeah, Frank Luntz, the Republican pollster, invented that whole concept back around 2004. He said, hey, you Republicans, run against the immigrants. Let's call them illegals. Don't say undocumented, which is true. Illegal is not true, but that's the Republican slogan, and we shouldn't use it.
What does this district need as far as economic development is concerned, and what can you do in Congress to help?
We need jobs. This district, the whole of city of Phoenix, all of Arizona needs greater economic growth. Economic growth is stimulated by government only when government gets out of the way of private entrepreneurs who create jobs. Jobs are not created by government. Jobs are not even subsidized by government. I think that the best thing the federal government can do is to reduce the regulations the excessive regulations. The Environmental Protection Agency is threatening to shut the whole state of Arizona down now. And I think that we should put an end to that. Congress has the power if it would act. I don't think the Democratic Party is interested in that. I think the Democratic Party is zealously in favor of the Environmental Protection Agency and all of its regulations. I think that what we need to do, in fact, is to stimulate the economy by tax cuts. I know that sounds hackneyed, but it's true that taxes and regulations are the two things that will kill economic growth and jobs.
Flight rules are affecting your district. What are your thoughts on that? As the representative of this district, to convince the FAA to change, or should the FAA change those rules?
Well, in the first place, a member of Congress can influence the FAA by just writing to it and influencing it, as well as stirring up some other support from other members of Congress. But the main problem we have, I think Obama has decided to punish the Republican state of Arizona. And I don't approve of that kind of political punishment from politicians. You mentioned earlier, what could Obama do or what should he do about immigration? I think Obama has hurt the issue by, basically making the Republicans foam at the mouth. I think Obama should do everything that he can do, and I certainly approve of all of the concessions that have been made for the DREAM Act. I think the DREAM Act ought to be enacted in law immediately. But I think that the administration is the problem right now. Mr. Gallego would be a member of the president's party. He would support the president. If the president asked to go to war, he would probably vote to go to war. And Mr. Gallego is going to be the most junior member of the minority party in the House of Representatives for the next decade. So his only hope is to hang on long enough for some of those people to die off.
Our final closing statement now from Joe Cobb.
Ted, thank you very much for having me on. I think the major issue in this campaign is the immigration issue. But the war issue is a very strong second. I'm the Libertarian candidate, so that means that I fundamentally believe in individual rights, individual freedom, human dignity, and the free market. I want to help Arizona grow. I want to help our district grow. I want to see America become a more prosperous and free country. The main thing that is strangling American business right now and dooming the future of Social Security is the problem of not enough young workers. The baby boomers came along, and then they didn't have enough children. The whole Social Security Ponzi scheme requires more young workers. Let them in. Let them in. We need them, after all. I am concerned that President Obama is going to lead us into war. I'm very opposed to that, and I think that we need to stand up for it now, early on, and say we're not going to go there. Mr. Gallego, as the Democrat, is going to follow President Obama, and I regret that. Sorry.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for watching the special Vote 2014 debate featuring candidates for Congressional District 7. That's it for now. I'm Ted Simons. You have a great evening.